Hello everyone and welcome back. It is Figure Friday and today we are actually taking a break from doing all of our G.I. Joes and other stuff. We actually have one of the new Bumblebees here. Um, so this is from the Legacy United series. Um, Seeing that he looks like he is a small car again, I decided, you know what, I'm going to pick him up. We'll see how he goes and we'll go from there. Now, we've had him from anywhere, originally from a little Volkswagen Beetle to some bigger vehicles, the smaller vehicles, and all that stuff. Being one of the Camaros, back to some smaller cars. It is interesting to see how he has progressed. Um, he was so loved by us early fans because he was a small car. He was just about the same height as most of the normal character or human characters. He was able to get into some of the small areas, so it worked out really well. He became kind of a human, um, kind of diplomat with humanity. Originally, it sounded like they were going to try and do the same thing with Hound, with him being a Jeep, but once they kind of developed Bumblebee a little bit more, being a very inexperienced Autobot and all that stuff, they kind of decided to go with him instead. Before I cut it all open here, we do have some pictures in the back. So it looks like this little, almost looks like a missile here, splits apart and becomes his guns here. Um, we do have some nice box art, and it's funny because we do have a dragon of sort here, as well as Prime, and we do have some of the others. Now, one of the other ones I had seen, I'm very fond of these two. They had Soundwave coming back as his original look. I do really like that iconic look. I know it's kind of outdated today. We don't have Walkmans going around. Um, so as far as that goes, it is a little outdated. I understand that. Um, but there again, being an old timer, I guess it's just one of those things. Um, I grew up with it, so um, just the fondness of it all. All right, I think I'm opening it up incorrectly, but we're getting them out on the side here. And of course, as always, they do have the nice instructions because I will admit, in my time in collecting all these, now I don't have them all anymore because I've given them, some of them away, sold some. Just trying to come to terms with the fact that I'm a child that will just never grow up. I have, done things that I look back now and say that was silly and I never should have done. Um, but there have been some that you really needed to have the instructions just in order to get them to transform. So here we are. Uh, but now that we're in July, and I'm not doing just strictly G.I. Joe, and we're not in June or in May, so I'm not strictly doing Star Wars. We're going to kind of jump back and forth here, just trying to see what other kind of interesting things that my little childish brain picks up on and says, hey, this is cool, let's take a look at this. Now, one of the things here I'm just going to notice right away, the joint is in the same spot. This one I got up here, this one just does not. Nope, there we go. Okay, so because we have him as a small vehicle, I did want to kind of showcase the fact that, as I move my pen here, we've had him as small vehicles before. So this is a reissue of what he originally was. So as I start working on him, and I kind of wanted to mention this because if you notice on the back, in order to get this to work, the arm kind of came up here, down here, but the joint is about the same. And he was just very simplistic. And this is what I grew up with him being as a toy, but something I could put into my pocket. And, um, you know, there's someone that's going to go into the history of all this, and it's like, was it Green McFarley? He does a wonderful job. He goes into stuff that I had never even thought of even looking into. and I don't presume to have all the information on all of them, because he goes not only into what we had here in the United States, but he goes into Japan, as well as into what was done over in Europe, and he really breaks everything down so that way you get a full view of where Transformers have been, gone, and all of that. So just kind of transforming these, just, you know, I don't showcase these all that much. These two I had in a drawer in my workshop because they're small and I didn't want to lose them. This one I actually had out, sitting next to some of my Legos. Trying to have a little bit of space here for these, because it's fun to be able to show them off. I think that's really a proper thing if you can. Not saying that we always can, but you know, if we can do it, it's wonderful. If we can't, we just can't. Now for me, because I do role-playing games, some of the times when I'm getting these things, I'm also thinking, hey, I'd like to use this as a prop in a game or something, especially because we do have Transformers as a role-playing game, and I admit that. My only issue is it's going off of the Modifius system, which in and of itself is not a bad thing, and I'm not trying to bash it in that regard, so don't take it the wrong way. I just want to point out that when I got into doing role-playing games were based off of like war simulations, doing mock battles and all that stuff. So that's really what I'm used to doing, and role-playing has really evolved into things that I'm not. Okay, so he's got kind of like the wings here, like a Bumblebee, and then there we are. So not bad for not having instructions. I got them around here somewhere, I just don't know where I put them. Okay, so as you see, a little bit of a progression here. Now these are back in the 80s. This is just a miniature copy of our original, and then this one was done I don't know how many years ago, and then here we are in today's iteration of them. It's a nice look. You see his bumper back here. He's got a nice racing stripe kind of going down. This is more of the kids cartoon. He's got more of a childish, cartoonish look to him, which I'm fine with. He was always supposed to be a younger Autobot, as far as that goes. So this really seems like it works out pretty well. Let's see how well I can do with transforming them. I'm going to try and do it without having the box. If I can do it, I will be very proud of myself, and if I need the instructions here, then I will use the instructions, and it's perfectly fine. But you know, just these are always like puzzles to me. So being able to say I can get that. Oh, we have nice joints. See, this is one of the things about the newer ones. They do have all the nice joints, and we had no joints back then, so you could still pose them, make them look like they're, you know, taking damage or kicking or whatever. We can do all that stuff today, where that wasn't even an option when I was a kid. So alright, so we got that. That's our cab. This is going to be, that's our windshield, so this is going to have to flip all the way around here somehow. Oop. Try and keep our cab all together. So now I got to figure out how this all works. And there again, this is where I get that little bit of fear in me to say, all right, let's try not to overdo this and then break things, because that wouldn't be a lot of fun. All right. So that looks like it should go. That this is a door. Aha, see, I knew I had a door here. Just didn't know exactly how it sat. Alright, I think I'm going to start saying cry uncle and start trying to pick this all up here. Because because there's a joint in here that just doesn't seem like it wants to pop, and I'm kind of nervous about it. So I think the intelligent thing to do, which I'm not going to say I'm very intelligent, but I think the intelligent thing to do would be, let's grab our book. Oh, come on, the other one just popped open. Oh, it's because I'm doing the wrong side. That's why. All right, swing our hands around. See that. All right, well, let's see what kind of a mess we made here, and we will figure this all out here. Okay, and one of the, oh yeah, we did not get out his handy dandy little weapons here. It feels like everything is out. Okay, so it looks like we have 2 missiles. And then this goes onto the back. I don't know if I'm a big fan of how these missiles are, being like this. Being very transparent like that, I don't know if I'm a big fan of that. Just kind of pointing that out. Now the fact that there's 2 of them means that you can have one on either side. We'll figure this whole thing out here. Alright, so it's saying, get our arms out, flip our hands down, flip the hands in, dun, da, da, da. Oh, well, that's for the gun. Don't want the gun, I want to transform them. Okay. The legs have panels that flip out. In. That then activates that, which I kind of thought had to be in there somewhere. Okay. I beat that to the chase. I think we're probably going to speed some of this up here, so that way you guys get to see this. And it's not going to take a whole half hour or a full day in order for me to figure all this out. Alright, that flips around. Okay. It's there. This has to go there. This goes here. Alright, that starts making some sense. Okay. Now somehow we have to get around, and it just kind of flips on over. Okay, well, we'll extend that out, and it says it just flips over, so that's the joint right there. It's just, it's a stiff joint. Okay. Which is a good thing. I'm not going to say it isn't. It's just one of those things of when you're just being nervous that you don't want to break it. It just makes it interesting. And then this is supposed to go. Oh, okay. That goes like that. Now we get her. Okay. First time through is always the hardest, and once I figured this out, then it starts going a lot easier. Now, what did I do wrong here? There's that. It just feels like that does not want to sit back here. So, I think what they need to do is when they do these, I'm not bashing them, they need to get some some people in, some regular people, not people that are used to transforming these all the time. And let them try and do this. It just seems like, okay, I'm gonna say this. Maybe I'm doing this. Is that supposed to be? This is where I'm having my problem. The hand folds back, which I'm fine with. And then I'm supposed to get that in here, one way or the other. Looks like it's supposed to be in there. Can't be in there, but it looks like it. But I'm having a problem right here. That's where I'm having a problem. So for me, it does not come off quite as well. This side's almost sitting better, but it's sitting down. So I don't know if that makes any sense. Alright, so that's almost there, but the hand is still dragging. So I think I got her now. But you have part of the hand dragging out here. And that doesn't really make a lot of sense because you're really sitting on that hand joint. So if you have a kid that wants to roll this as a car, it's really riding on this, and that's all going to get kind of worn away. So we did get it. It's there. We can put this on here. It's a nice look in a lot of regards. It's an updated version, which I'm not against. You know, it's got that small car vibe, which is a-okay with me. And I've somebody had mentioned to me a while ago, and I've kind of taken it to heart. You know, there's a lot of us old timers that, you know, we want everything to kind of remain the same from back in the 1980s, and updating things has always been a challenge because, you know, we want it to remain what it was. Having this back as a car, you know, I did get it. Like I said, it doesn't really want to roll, which was one of the fun things because we could always just quickly transform them, and they did roll. It was like having a little Matchbox car that could roll. But the hand, and you can hear it on my pool table. You know, maybe it's something I'm doing wrong here. Maybe there's something else I need to look better in the instructions, and that's very possible. But it looks like everything's together. I don't know what car that would be. It is an interesting look. It's more of a modern or maybe a little bit futuristic look to the car. You know, it's not bad. I'm not going to knock it. It's not bad. It's a small little car again. We have them as a small car, which I think that they should have kind of left them as. And it works pretty good. It's just like I said, it doesn't really roll, so not the greatest. And you can hear them kind of rubbing on the pool table, on the cloth here on the pool table. And having these on here, if I put them back, which I think should go a lot faster and a lot easier. Oops. If I put the hands out first and then do that, that might help. That goes there, that goes there. Okay. Yeah, getting them back goes fairly quick. And there again, like I said before, once you transform them once, you start getting that sense of, okay, this works this way, this works that way, all of that. So it works out pretty good. As I think I've nudged the camera a little bit. Oh shoot. And this is why we have joints like this, because you have kids like me that just can't do things correctly. That actually goes up like that, that's why. And then it flips around. I knew it became as, geez. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Broke Transformers. Okay. Then I wonder why the rabbits look at me like they're afraid. I tell ya. Sometimes I'm just too clumsy for my own good. Alright, there we are. And then we can bring his head down. Oh, come on, get the head out. It's funny. It really is. Okay. Now we got him. We got him. Alright. There we go. That's up there. There, like that. Okay. Works pretty good. Now, the only thing I'm trying to do is, when we look at this, are we going to have, as I keep nudging the camera, so if it's shaking, I really do apologize. You know, do you want that to look like that? There was, felt like, oh, okay. There's a little notch here, so I'm thinking that can go there. Nope, not quite. Okay. I don't know why they have that separate. Looking at the instructions here, these two are supposed to be able to go together, and then he's supposed to be able to put his hands together or something, or to be able to, oh, I think it goes maybe on the back side here. That doesn't seem, it might be something for the cartoon, that they might have him doing in the cartoon. But we have him dual wielding. He looks like he's running around with two pistols. All right, well, there we are. Probably a little longer than I intended, but we got Bumblebee, and we got him transformed down to a vehicle and back. It is a little tricky, I will say that, but there we are. It's interesting. It looks nice. It really does. Has a kiddish face, but it does look nice. I'll probably keep them transformed and have them up on the shelf, and we'll go from there. With that being said, have a wonderful day. Thanks for visiting. We'll see you in the next one.